Hello, welcome to SA. Good to have you. We have a trade. This team, this goddamn team, and the Memphis Grizzlies have made a trade. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading forward Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jacques Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 first-round picks. Those first-round picks are the Suns' 2031 first-round pick, Lakers 27 pick, and the most favorable 27 of Cleveland, Minnesota, and Utah. I'm going to say this right now. Before I even get into the trade, I'm going to talk about a different trade. That Suns 2031 pick had 3 firsts attached to it. That Suns 2031 pick had 3 firsts attached to it. I don't know if I made a video on this, but my opinion on it was that's a horrible deal. That Suns 2031 first had 3 firsts attached to it. A trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. has 3 firsts attached to it. The 3 firsts in the Suns deal weren't good firsts, but neither are the ones in this deal. Like, I'm just throwing my... This team has been horrible with asset management, man. We got Lakers picks that could have been decently good, but then we helped facilitate the Luka trade. Why? I don't know. Now to get into the actual trade details. I think this is fine value, if not good value. Let's see what Jaren Jackson Jr. is averaging, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is like a good, just straight up good player, even if he is a very, very, very flawed one. The biggest problem with him is rebounding, and we have decent rebounders. We have Walker, we have Lowry. I wish we didn't have Ace. I wish we had Con or Queen or anybody else from the first round, really, but, he's a good rebounder, too. God, he's averaging less... Oh, that's defensive rebounds. He's averaging less than 6 rebounds, though. Shit, man, that's tough. But, anyways, value-wise, I think this is a good deal. This year he's averaging 19 points, 5.8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1.5 blocks. Defense has fallen off a little bit, but some of that might just be usage. On 47.5 shooting and about 36% from 3. So, that's okay value for a guy like Jaren Jackson. Like, Jaren Jackson Jr. is just a better player than Mikal Bridges, and Mikal Bridges got 5 first-round picks, which are solid to... I mean, at worst, they're this level of first-round picks, like the first-round picks from this team, if not better. And so, value-wise, that's fine. For Memphis, I feel like you might have gotten more if you waited. I just do. There are some good prospects in this draft who fit with Jaren. And I know, I'm of the opinion oftentimes that it's not good to plan your future around getting a high draft pick because it's not guaranteed. But, I don't know. I would have drawn this out to the offseason. I would have seen if I could have gotten, like a Cam Boozer or a Darren Peterson type, somebody who can play and fit alongside Jaren well. And if not, or if I find, like a Caleb Wilson, for example, or like a power forward prospect, or, just somebody who doesn't fit next to Jaren Jackson Jr., then I move on. Because teams are going to have more cap space in the offseason. Teams are going to be more desperate in the offseason, Execs are going to finish the year and feel desperate if they don't have good results. I mean, I would have drawn this out to the offseason if I could. Maybe there was internal pressure to get him done now. Maybe Jaren said, hey, get me out of here. But I feel like this is a little premature, and I feel like you could have just gotten better value. But, for the team that really matters, I just don't know why you do this trade. I'm not sure why this team thinks they're close. I've seen a lot of reports saying that the Jazz are not done or don't plan on them being done. They very well could be done. There's a better chance of them being done than continuing. But I mean, why would this team do this trade in the first place, and why would they continue making trades? This team is not good. This team has 3 decent players. Ace, maybe. I mean, Ace is at best a starter. I mean, let's just go through the starting lineup. Keontae, great. But he's also a small guard who's a little bit inconsistent at times. Struggles with playmaking. He's a good, not great playmaker. Ace or Bryce, both pretty flawed. Lowry. And then, I guess now, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Walker Kessler. I mean, like, that's just a mid to okay roster. Like, this team's going to have to make moves. But I don't know if this team has assets to turn themselves into anything more than, like, a play-in, maybe playoff team. I mean, trading those 3 first-round picks for that Phoenix pick kills you. It just does. Having Lowry on your books and Walker, and Walker next year, but having Lowry on your books and then Jackson on your books is going to really hurt you. Like, I just don't... This hamstrings your team in a way that just doesn't make sense to me. If this team was a finals contender, if this team made it into the play-ins with the roster they have, then maybe. But right now, this team isn't good. This team was at least about to be overtaken by, like, the Pelicans in wins. Part of that is because of sitting guys out, but most of that's just because we're not very good. The Jazz have sat out guys longer than needed for injuries, but I mean, Lowry's played a lot. Keontae's played a lot. Like, I don't know. This feels a little bit like Danny sniffing his own farts, a bit getting high off his own supply. I feel like this team thinks they are more ready to compete than they really are. I think this team sees more in Ace than they should. I think this team feels they have better depth than they do. I think this team thinks Nurkic is a long-term fit, which I don't think they should, or which I don't think is the case. I think this team just has an incorrect view of themselves. I think this team thinks they're better than they are. I think Ryan probably got tired of rebuilding, and I think, quite frankly, the fans have too. It doesn't help when you've whiffed on almost every draft pick except one. So, I don't get it. I think the days of Danny Ainge fleecing GMs is over, as is evident here. Like, this is fine value. Yeah. If we had 3 more first-round picks, I would say, okay, maybe we can go, like, try and get Giannis. We have all of our own picks. We have 3 extra first-round picks. Boom. Great. But now we just really have our own first-round picks. And if we dip into those, this is it. This is the team going forward. So, this team needs to get good luck in the lottery. I think the best course of action for this team is just to tank their asses off and hope you get, like, AJ, Boozer, or Peterson. And then just hope that one of those 3 is good enough to get you to a competing point. So, yeah. I don't love it. I don't love it for either team. I guess we can look at inspo. We'll look at the cap implications while we're here. Sorry, this is a little bit of a quicker video. Grizzlies, Utah. Have they up? Yeah, they have. Okay. So this gets the Grizzlies $34 million under Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, this gets the team 34 million under the tax. Total cap threshold, total cap allocation. Oh, okay. I guess this gets them. Well, this gets them under the aprons. This gets them under the tax. Expect them to trade Jaw. That would be my guess. Maybe, KCP, Brandon Clark. Like, expect this team to blow it up to the best of their abilities. As for the Jazz, they still have a decent amount of cap room, but not a ton. They have, let's see. Okay, so now the Jazz are over the cap. They're 12 million over the cap. They are 33 million away from the first apron. They have 25 million in cap space, so they have another move they could potentially make if they wanted. If they trade Nurkic, they can clear, close to 50, 40-ish in cap space. Nurkic is making 20s, so, call it 45. And so, I don't know. This team has moves they can make. They have a 2026 pick. Actually, I'm not sure this is updated. Let's see. Do they have that Suns pick still? Yeah, okay. So Fanspo has not updated the picks yet. And, I could be wrong. Somebody in a Discord I'm in, it's a reputable guy. They know better sources than me. But somebody told me, about what those picks were, the 2027 and then the 2031 pick. But, okay, so the Jazz do have a little bit more cap space than I thought. But, they're over the tax now. There's some good free agents coming up this offseason. Let's see. Like, for example, Zach LaVine has a player option. Trae Young has a player option. James Harden, player option. Middleton, no. Tingus, no. McCollum, no. Hartenstein has a team option. Wiggins, no. Player option, which I'll probably pick up. And then that's funny. The next guy up is Evan Turner. Simons, Rozier, Harris, Collins, Green, Van Vliet, which, he'll pick up that player option. I'm actually not sure that's accurate. I think he extended for longer. Powell. Okay. So there's Hachimura. Okay, so there's some guys this offseason that, you could kind of bolster up your depth with. But, I don't know. 25 million in tax space is not a lot. That gets you, like, Rui. That's it. Sorry, this is my initial reaction, so I'm kind of processing this with you here. So they're really relying on Kevin Love to be their backup for. I guess they got Jock Lyondell now, so no, maybe not. So, Vince Williams, okay. Well, anyways, to finish this off, because, I'll sit and look at this all day if I'm left alone to do so. To finish this off, I don't love this trade for either team. For the Jazz, I don't think this team really is anywhere close to competing, even with this move. They need to make another move, but then if they do, they're kind of hamstrung for the future since they don't have a ton of assets. Trading for that 2031 Phoenix pick killed them. I guess they don't really have any other movable salary outside of, like, Nurkic. They have a ton of room to take on some salary, but Nurkic makes 19 million, Cody 5, Love 4, so I don't know. This team needs to extend Walker, which is going to fill up most of their cap space. This team probably needs to let Nurkic go. This team needs, I don't know. This team needs a lot. Ultimately, that's kind of what I'm getting at. This team needs a lot. They need to take their asses off and hope they have good lottery luck. They need to make another move if they want to compete now. But I mean, even competing now is going to be hard because, you don't really have a ton of assets to do so. So I don't know. I don't love this trade for the Jazz. It's fine value. But I mean, for the Grizzlies, I would have waited until the offseason. I would have seen if teams get a little bit more desperate. I don't think Jaren's value drastically changes up or down, but I think the offers for him would. I mean, that's when most moves are going to happen. Or maybe I'm wrong at this point. I don't know. I mean, fuck, I said this is going to be a boring trade deadline, and then we have had 2 trades since I started making this video, so, I mean, shit. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but, I would have waited until the deadline. I would have traded Josh for it, and then Jaren Jackson Jr., so you could just clear up more salary or maybe even take on a better player. So, yeah. I don't love this for either team. Value-wise, for the Jazz, it's fine. It's still okay value-wise for the Grizzlies. The issue is those picks are just not very good. Both teams need a lot of work. Both teams need to make some moves. But, I guess we'll see. Jazz need to extend Walker. Jazz apparently are not done at the deadline, and I imagine the Grizzlies are not done at the deadline. So, I'll come back and talk with you. And, yeah. Peace. Love you guys.